every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick. But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is. You show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
It's the ToddFox Postgame Podcast with your host, ToddFox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is fuck! Hey, welcome into another episode of the ToddFox Postgame Show here live from the studios of Halos in the Infield. 714 Tickets is what presents it to you tonight, and I'll be working on something for you guys to check out, and I'll be making something later on, so be tuned for that. But 714 Tickets, go today if you buy earlier in the morning. 10% off by using the HITI code, H-I-T-I, in the apply now and checkout, and 10% back, 5% for a future purchase, and a chance to win a jersey at the end of the month. Now, let's get into what happened this afternoon, this evening, wherever you may be residing. The Baltimore Orioles have now knotted up this series at 1. The Angels drop game 2 here with Silseth not looking all that bad. Some of his pitches were a little too much up in the zone. When he pitched out of the bullpen, they seemed to be down, but it's a product of the umpire, I think, tonight. Mostly, the umpire was atrocious. There was a lot of calls that were right there. His two-seam fastball, his changeup, and the I think the fastball were right on point, and hitting the black on a lot of the strike zone. And the umpire just wasn't giving him the corners whatsoever. It was tough, and still Seth was battling 10 people on the field, not just the 9. So the Angels again, it's a tough one loss tonight because it was an opportunity loss, and we'll get into what happened to him. But just the fact that, your team for the most part was kept in it until momentum. Momentum's a crazy thing. And if you don't harness it in your favor, believe me, having formerly played myself, momentum is a real thing. Don't ever let anyone tell you it's not. I mean, it can take over, and where the stupidest things happen, they go against you. And in this game, it was no different. It was a tale of 3 stories. Moniak started off with a solo blast to make it 1-0. Of course, the Angels can't hold it for more than an inning. They would give it right back on a solo blast. It's 1-1. And again, just like Randazzo said and just like Gooby said, and we've been saying for a while here, that the Angels like to give up home runs to number 9 hitters. And they gave up another home run to another number 9 hitter, a guy who, again, is batting less than 200, and a guy who only hit 1 home run all of last year. Well, he bloops one out of there, and it's 1-1. And then, the Orioles get 3 runs off of Silseth. Again, by little bloop hits, walks, and just, unfortunate play, it's freaking 4-1 before you know it. And you're thinking, okay, the Angels are on their way to a loss, but then they get a run back with Neto's RBI single. You get a couple more guys on, you can't do nothing, so they're leaving opportunities out there. They're wasting opportunities to score. It's 4-2 at this point. And then in the 6th inning, they get a run closer, and again have opportunities to crack it open, take the lead, possibly tie it, leave runners in scoring position once again. And right then and there, the momentum was shot because Tucker Davidson had struck it out 3 or 4 in a row at this point, and he came back in the bottom of the 6th inning and 0-2 pitch to Frazier, former Yankee, and he pops him. He just pops them, and then there you go. And it's terrible the amount of pitchers that we've seen for the Angels this year hit a guy when they're ahead of the count. And he threw a curveball up and in, and Frazier kind of just bent into it, and bam, he's hit. Leadoff guy on, and then the guy tries to bunt, doesn't go the first pitch. The second pitch most likely would have been a double play where the defense was playing. But magically, the Angels' luck and momentum, what I was talking about earlier, not on the Angels' side. It goes off of freaking his ankle and deep in past the infield into the outfield. And, of course, it's a double. Second and third, wants us to come in with inherited runners now and makes a good pitch, gets a fly out, holds a runner at second. If you're still right there at 5-3, you could possibly limit the damage and try to get the momentum back on your side. But what happens? Mountcastle. That's what happens. Mountcastle had came in earlier for the number 9 hitter who sucked, and he came in and got a hit earlier, and he proceeded to tattoo once over the center field wall in a no-doubter to make it 7-3, and that's basically the ballgame. Because right there, after those 2 runs came across, the Angels did absolutely dog shit. And it's funny because you got 17 hits last night. You rack up 8 tonight. You also say to yourself, okay, you had a guy who had 3 hits, including a home run, and one of his outs got to the very rim of the track. Could have been his second home run, and Chad Wallach. Wallach hasn't played in over a week because he was on the IL. He played solid last night. Again, I'm not advocating for Theis to be out of the lineup, but maybe put Theis at first or something like that again, and they take Wallach out. So, again, you can't get any kind of routine or rhythm going if you're just saying, okay, this guy was good, but you're going to sit him. Yet a guy like Trout has had one day off because of his lack of play, but when he continues to struggle like he is now, 9 for 43, why the hell is he still out there? Give him a night off. Let him face a lefty. Because, again, he's way behind on fastballs again and again. He can't freaking hit a fastball, whether it's 93 miles per hour, whether it's 100 miles per hour. I don't give a shit what his velo is. He can't hit a fastball. I don't know because, look, I don't know if it's an injury or if it's just his timing is so bad because when there's pitches down the middle or to the side, the outside corner, but they're straight on a rope, he freaking fouls them to the right side, so he's swinging late. And then when it's like up and in or up in general, he's swinging even later. So it's like, dude, his timing is way off, and it's now, to me, I'm pressing the panic button because you cannot continue to have him. I mean, look at Ohtani's numbers are not as great as his either. He's got 8 home runs or 9 home runs, 29 RBIs, but his average is up. He's been getting clutch hits. Trout, besides a couple clutch opportunities, hasn't been doing anything. He's been stuck on 8 home runs, stuck on 20 RBIs for a while now, and his average continues to dip. So, yes, I'm hitting the panic button. Again, if you look up and down this lineup, you had 17 hits yesterday. We were like, please save some of those for today. Of course, they didn't. Renfroe got in for a pinch hit. He was out. Moniak had the leadoff home run. Trout 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Ohtani 0 for 4, but he only struck out once. Ward's 1 for 4. Theis with another good game, 2 for 4. His average is up to 3. Drury got 1 hit at least. Urshela had a nice night. Almost hit one out, and then he was almost robbed of a home run as well on the same play. 2 hits tonight, including an RBI. Renifo 0 for 4 tonight. Neto 1 for 3. For the Orioles, you had Santander had a pretty bad game. He had the hat trick, 0 for 4 in this one. Again, if you look at the top of their lineup, Mullins, Rushman, whatever, Santander, and Hayes were combined 2 for 12 tonight. And that's what you want. That should help you get a victory if you're shutting down the big guns for the opposing team. However, the bottom of the lineup is what kills the Angels every series, and it seems like every other game. Frazier was 1 for 3. Henderson got a hit up in there and a run. Vera hit that home run. McKenna was 1 for 2. Mateo was 1 for 3 and 2 RBIs. And then, of course, Mountcastle counts with that as well. 2 hits and a home run, a 2 RBI right there. And then if you look at the numbers, again, Kramer is a guy you have to get to early. You can't let him get into a groove. And, of course, what do the Angels do? Let him get into a groove. He went 5 2/3, 3 runs on 6 hits, all 3 earned. with only 4 strikeouts, and then the rest of the bullpen did its job. Baker, Perez looked unhittable, and then Cano just toyed with us in the 9th inning. If you look at the Angels pitching real quick before we get into some other stuff right here in the awards, Silseth went 3 1/3. Quick hook for him, of course. Even if he was cooking, I don't think he would have made the 5th inning because Nevin is such an asshole manager. 4 runs on 6 hits allowed. With the exception of that home run, he really wasn't hit all that hard. He just made a couple mistakes in the zone, and the Orioles went the other way and got clutch hits. I mean, that's all you can say. He had 5 strikeouts. He didn't look all that bad. Tucker Davidson, unfortunately, gets charged 2 runs, but he was a bad luck, too. I mean, he hit the hitter on 0-2, Frazier, and then the next batter just hit a line drive off his ankle on a freak play that went into the outfield. Herget at least gave you something with an inning pitched, no runs, no hits. Wants two innings, and he was charged with that Mountcastle RBI. And what's surprising about this whole series, especially yesterday's series or yesterday's game, they only had 20,000 in attendance for a Shohei game, and you had only 13,000 tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong, Baltimore fans. Again, where the fuck are you? Those prices aren't that expensive at Baltimore, and you're a first place team or damn near a first place team, and you're second. You know, you got one of the best records in all of baseball, and you're drawing 13,000. Shame on you, Baltimore fans. Where the hell are you? You should be there in full force, man. I get it. It's freaking May, but still, it's not April. This team's starting to really play. They're going to be around all year. What the hell is this, dude? That's terrible. That's poor on their part. So screw the Orioles on that one, man. They really screwed over their players right there because, again, you should be showing out. If the Angels had that record, believe me, the place would be packed. Let's go to the Stamos Award. Who was the best player on the field tonight? The John Stamos Award for Best Player on the Field. I'm going to give it to Mountcastle. I'm not going to go with a pitcher in this one. He was very, just bland, in my opinion, Kramer. But I'll give it to Mountcastle because coming off the bench, he'd been, a little worn. He was in a Mike Trout kind of slump, and he came out and got a single, and then he drove the 2-run homer, which was the dagger, which took all the momentum and pretty much killed any kind of Angels rally moving forward. It seemed to just be like as soon as that ball went over the fence, their chances for winning went with it. So Mountcastle gets the player of the game. Now let's find out who got the Nacho Night. The Nacho Night, there's plenty of guys we could throw this to on the Angels as far as being, because that's the giveaway right there. It's not a freaking Oriole that gets the nachos tonight.
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos.
It's the Nacho Award. It's by Paul Sorrento, the worst hitting instructor of all time. Basically, who gets the nachos tonight? Louis Renifo. I was really close to giving it to our boy Mike Trout, which unfortunately this season, I think we've given it to Mike Trout on at least 5 or 6 times because he's been that bad. But we have to give it tonight to someone that deserved it, and it was Louis Renifo, in my opinion, because Louis Renifo literally, left guys on base. He left 3 guys on base, but those were 3 guys that really, if the Angels could have just gotten one hit right there, would have changed the complexity of this game 100-fold. They had an opportunity to get the tying run in. He struck out. Granted, the strikeout on one of them, though, that was down and in. And then he had another one. It's like you got to come through. And Renifo, again, he's battling for playing time. Soto's not going to affect him being called up, but you know who will is Walsh. So if you want to see any kind of playing time in a red jersey while you still can, I suggest you start getting some hits, man. You better start getting some hits because the playing time is already limited with the guys that we have on this bench and on the team. When Walshy makes it up for the homestand, watch out. So my final thoughts on this before I get to the comments and we go back and forth with you, the listener, is this. It was a tough game tonight, and again, you would like this team to be somewhat consistent, but it just seems we can't do it. We can't seem to turn the page. We needed to play an air-free game tonight. We needed to get some hits and put the runners in motion, and we didn't get an opportunity to. They just pitched better than us, and they just hit better than us. And when they needed to go to the right side, they did it. And that's something that's still bugging me, that the Angels do at times really good, and then at times they get away from it. Everyone wants to pull the ball, and when instead of just taking what the defense gives you. So there you go right there. One more thing, again, if you're looking for that July 1st, day at the park with us and Heedy and the whole, what is it called, tailgate, and then we're going to have that coming up here soon. We're going to have June 10th, so look out for those 2 dates, because if you're a real Heedy fan or an Angels fan, you need to be partying with us on the 10th of June. And then also July 1st, because those are 2 big games coming up that we're going to be facilitating to. Sean Ireland kicks it off. Give the effing nachos to Trout. 93 down the middle. The dick, and he swings and misses. He isn't clutch, and he never will be clutch. Sean's all in on that. Okay, that what the F was that? Renifo sucks. DFA him. Also, Phil Nevin cost us the game. Why are you leaving Tucker? Tucker wasn't his problem right there. I think, again, he just made a mistake. He had just struck out 4 guys. Probably was in the going to strike out Frazier had he not hit him. And then that pitch was likely going to be a double play, but magically he threw his foot out there. Trout said this season is the most important season in the team's history. He needs to start fucking playing like it matters, because he's letting Moniak look better than him at the plate. Yeah, Moniak's hitting consistently. Even if he's getting out, going 1 for 4, he's grounding out. He's flying out. He's putting the bat on the ball. I mean, Trout just, he hit a pretty hard line drive to third. But that's a line out, ground out. Other than that, he was whimpering in the plate. Grillmaster says the umpire was Pat Horberg, and I thought the guy was good. That was the dude that did not miss a call in the World Series last year. He sucked tonight. We can blame Pat Horberg for Nevin where Nevin usually is to blame. But again, he did not look. The game was not costed by the umpires, but it was affected early, early and often, the first 4 or 5 innings. But the Angels got to take advantage of that too, though. Halos Forever says, go Halos. Sean says, this is why we don't use Davison in the closing role. He is needed when the starters can't do their job. Otani should have taken a day off with a stiff neck. Grillmaster says, wrong Frazier, Todd. Adam Frazier is the former Mariner. Todd Frazier is the former Yankee. Okay, well, there you go. To me, it still feels like Madden is managing the team. It does, too. Also, doesn't feel like it to me. This team actually can hit, Sean says. Well, that's true. Also, why not pitch hit Levon Soto? Phil Nevin hates him. I don't understand why you pull a guy up and not use him. I mean, I understand if you put him on a taxi squad and shit like that, but why put him on the roster and then not use him? They keep throwing fastballs to Trout. Now, here's the thing that I will say, Doy, and everybody else listening and watching. It's the thing is, I've never seen more fastballs thrown to Mike Trout in his entire career. I've seen his entire career, I'm pretty sure most of you have as well. I can't believe the amount of swings and misses through these fastballs. You realize if he would have got these fastballs earlier in his career, 2 to 3 years ago, this guy would be he would have 70 home runs. I mean, you would be yelling at the other managers what the hell are you thinking? Why are you giving this guy cookies? Well, Sean says Soto sinks. Grillmaster says, well, tell the Gimps at the plate to be more disciplined like Trout Renifo. The fact that Trout can't hit anymore is bad. He is generic right now, or geriatric. Maybe he should go have some hot, with just to get him up. Also, he says DFA Trout Renifo. Yeah, that's going to go over real great. We were playing like Sereno was coaching us, swinging at everything. Dan says Baltimore is a liberal shithole. Not safe there. I'd stay home too. I've never been downtown Baltimore. I heard nice things, but recently I feel like a dumbass if I say that because I haven't been there and I know it's gone to hell recently. Sim says it didn't start off badly. That ump squeezed Silseth and forced him to get closer in the zone. Ump's bad calls also forced our hitters to protect early and swing at crap to not fall behind. See, but they were able to, the Orioles were able to take advantage of that. The Angels didn't. later on. That these last 5 losses all Phil Nevin. Jesus checking in. Phalos doing their thing, get the L because they can't get a W versus the Orioles, and their stadium is empty. I hate bashing Cal State Fullerton alum, but my respect is lessening to him. There you go. I think as far as Nevin. Also, Yvette says Trout needs to move to 3rd or 4th in the lineup. Also, Phil sucks. Benji Gill for manager. He does need to go down the lineup. I hate, and I again, if you've ever heard a podcast or post game from us, I've been preaching that for a long time. I'm sick and tired of seeing him number 2. That is dumbest shit ever, and that was started by Sosha. The playing time is limited because Nevin's logic. They pitch around Ohtani and keep challenging Trout, which is insane. Like, if Trout was like 37, 39, I'd expect this. But at his age right now, he's still young. He's still very young, and he's still supposedly in his prime. What the hell is he not doing? You know, I don't understand it. This dude has the IQ of mathematics. Sean says Eddie Vet Gill is no different than Nevin. Mike Schmidt for manager, Grillmaster says. Also, who should be sent down when Walsh comes back? It's going to be Soto. Soto's up here just for a cup of coffee, it looks like. Also, prediction, Herget or Wantz went down when Walsh. No, I don't think they're going to throw a pitcher down. Jim says, will the Todd and James bobblehead be given away at the upcoming tailgates? Unfortunately not. We don't have the power to make any kind of bobbleheads right now. We're doing other stuff, but yeah, we don't have the power to do that yet. Grillmaster says, this is the most important season of the team, Mike Trout. What an idiot. Play like it. Well, that's something that, again, a couple fans have been pointing out. You guys have been pointing out. Again, like we said, too, this is the most important season. You know, why didn't we get a manager to manage this most important season? Because it looks like a failure all around. Please explain what the taxi squad is, Dan wants to know. That's usually when a team has about 5 extra players that will follow the team and stay close to the team. If there's an emergency, like a couple catchers were to go down, they'd be able to be pulled up right away. They're close to the team. They could even be pulled in during the game. But they don't cost an option. I forget what the other rules are too. I'm sure someone else can fill me in on that. But the taxi squad's fairly new, but it's something that basically you travel with a team. You're sort of like the college version of redshirt freshmen, basically, but you can actually play. That's the only difference. Let's see. At Sean, I would like to give him a chance. I like what he did with Mexico and Team WBC. That would be Benji Gill. And basically, it's backup players, Yvette says. My co-workers from Baltimore. Bat Trout 7th, and how about Ohtani 5th? Now, Eric Buck says, love that hat. Go Hawks. Thank you. Jim Hoyt says, Mike Gallego is a solid candidate. Why not give him a chance? Coach, third base coach, bench coach, good resume. Thoughts? Gallego's been around for a long time. I would not mind him being a potential candidate for this team and moving forward as far as a manager. But like I've said before, I've said many times, if we're going to be real about this and about getting a manager, if you want to just test a new guy, if you want to just see what that guy can do, then a Mike Gallego, Benji Gill, give him a job. But if you're serious about winning and trying to get to the postseason, and let's just say Ohtani walks, but you're bringing in 2 or 3 big name free agents, you're hustling the roster to get as many veterans together to go with the young kids coming up and making trades and putting something together, then I want a manager that is well-rounded. Like, and I've said it before, say it again, Dusty Baker, others have brought up Trey Hillman, Ned Yost, older managers, Ron Washington, guys who know analytics, guys who are still in the game, guys who are still relevant, and can be badasses when you want them to be, meaning not taking any crap from diva players, and then they could also be players managers when things are going good. You know, you have to have a healthy balance, I think, in all 4 aspects of managing. And I don't think Nevin has but 2, and Madden had 1 when his career was done. Sosha went down to about 2. He had all 4. So you want a 4-tool manager, and right now it seems like we got a 2, if that. You know what I mean? Like, and we're flat most of the nights. There's not this like I don't know, man. Nevin doesn't have that it factor either. He seems to be reading from a script. Grillmaster says Moniak leadoff would be fine. Would like Urshela there at number 2. Otani 3, Rendon 4, Renfroe 5, 6 Trout, Drury 7th, 8th, Wallach and Neto 9. You're not going to put Trout that far down. You're going to want his at-bats, a.k.a. what Sosha and them been saying. But I would like to have Otani bat 3rd or 4th and mix and match them together. I think Drury's hitting too high. I think where he should be hitting is around 7th or 8th until he starts becoming more productive. Neto's fine at 9. The catching spot can actually go up to 7 because of what Wallach and Theis are doing, dude. Those guys are playing out of their minds right now.
I'm so wasted.
They're actually not wasted. They're playing pretty good. Although, did you see the throw from Theis to second base? He's all, bro, I really thought I got it close that time. I just threw it a little too far off, man. Oh, dude, that was awesome, though. I thought you were going to land on the guy. And then he just was like, oh, I got to put my helmet back on. How do you put this thing in the air? Hey, Skipper, can you help me put the thing in my ear? Nevin! So, yeah, that's our boy Theis. I mean, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's having a pretty good year. No more Theis in the catcher position, Yvette says. Marcus Thames or Ray Montgomery for manager, Matt Wise. I don't think you go to Matt Wise. He's not having a productive year like last year. Any word on Walsh? Walsh should be back by the Twins series. That is the consensus right now. He's having, fairly good at bats, even outs that are down there in the minors. So he'll be up sooner than later. But I don't foresee him coming up any faster than that. Let's see. Also, Doy says put Moniak, Neto, Otani on the top of the order and start stealing bases, disrupt the opposing pitcher. Yeah. See, that's again, Doy. That's a great observation. If you can get guys on, like even when Renifa was hitting hot last year, I mean, it would have been great for him to be batting second in front of Trout and in front of Otani, because again, like you said, you're getting traffic, you're moving guys, you're running, you're putting pressure. I think that's what we did so poorly last year, was never put pressure on the opposing pitcher. And this year, we're doing it sometimes. We're not doing it all the time. And like nights like this is a night where you want guys dancing around on the bases, stealing, pinch, what is it called? Hit and run. You want stuff like that. And it's just the Angels just don't do that. They refuse to do that. And it's almost like they're playing like the money ball Oakland A's with Billy Beane. It's kind of pathetic. Yvette says Moniak 1, Ward 2, Otani 3, Trout 4. I think Trout would get a little bit more pitches to hit if, say, for instance, you had 5 a Jared Walsh, and Jared Walsh was back into his rhythm. Then you'd have lefty, righty, lefty, and that's more, that's harder to hit. And then you could, when Rendon's done healing up, he could be number 6 and then go Renfroe 7, or vice versa, 6 Renfroe, 7 Rendon. But boy, oh boy, it's frustrating. It is frustrating because, again, this game was a very winnable game at one point. Hit the ball. Which way do I run? Phil, what do I do? Gets hit by Nevin. Oh, wow. What am I going to do? Matt Theis. Kurt Suzuki, Matt Theis throwing the ball into center field. Kurt Suzuki wipes his brow, realizing he's not the only one on this team that could do that. And, yeah, that's something that I think our boy Kurt Suzuki's been teaching these players, is to throw the ball into center field, because that's about the 3rd time this year. Now I'm going to play this clip here from Major League right here, because this is exactly what the Angels can't accomplish, but would have been nice had we won tonight.
All right, you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday. If we win one today, that's 2 in a row. We win one tomorrow, that's called a winning streak.
Can't accomplish it. Didn't happen. We didn't.
Wow, winning.
No, we didn't. We did not. We lost again. Yvette says, last night, let's play like it was 1980-something. Today, let's throw it in the window. You remember that, too, from last year? One of the dumbest quotes, one of the dumbest things to ever say, as far as, there's been a lot of dumb quotes in sports or even for the Angels. And to hear Joe Madden say, let's play like it's 1986. Geez, I remember such a talented team in 86. And that was a great team. But that team could run, they could pitch, they could get saves, they could hit home runs. They did it all. In fact, they were one pitch away from the World Series. How can you even think a team with the ragtag losers we had on it last year could be anywhere close to an 86 team? Let's play like it's 1986. Okay, if you don't think it's the same talent and you want to play like it's 1986, how come we didn't run the bases like it was 1986? Because I remember one of the big stats when I collected cards back in the day was looking at fast guys like Luis Polonia, Chad Curtis, Devon White, and all these former Angels that stole bases. Darren Erstad, Tony Phillips, Ricky Henderson, when we had him for that 1 year. Stolen bases were a thing. And now, love him or hate him, Manfred gave that back to baseball teams. Take advantage of the stolen base. Take advantage of running. We don't do it. Again, I think the team leader in stolen bases is Shohei Ohtani. I think he's got 4 or 5. That's it. Like literally, Cedric Mullins. No, it wasn't Cedric Mullins. It was Mateo. Mateo for the Orioles has 13 stolen bases already. That's double what we got. That's one guy. One guy. So how you're given opportunity to play better, to score more runs. They even have commercials about it on MLB Network, on on Apple TV. Bryan Cranston or whatever his name is, talking about how this game is so much better. They brought this back. They brought that back. It's more exciting, more runs. Okay. The rest of the league's doing a great job exploiting that. We don't. And that's cost us a lot of games. Let's just face it. And then you think about it, we're always killing Phil Nevin, but we forget about the third base coach, who I can already count on one hand as, 43 games into the season now, that has messed up, well, actually 2 hands, that has messed up run scoring opportunities by not sending guys home when he clearly should. And then 3 or 4 times when he's waving guys in when he should really hold them up. So, and blame Ohtani for that base running error the other day. But who's to say that wasn't our boy at third saying, come on, you can get it? Like, he's got to tell him too. I mean, Ohtani's looking at the base. The third base coach is right there. So maybe it wasn't all Ohtani. Maybe we were crushing Ohtani because we thought, okay, Ohtani made the wrong move. But Ohtani doesn't have a track record like Adele with making base running errors. So maybe it was him. Who knows? The fact of the matter is, it just seems like on every – you look at a team that's 22-21, and I'm disappointed. If you had to ask me what is the one word to describe so far through 43 games the Angels baseball team, I'd say disappointed. Very disappointed, or just singularly disappointed, because this team feels like it should have 6 more wins at least. At least. And we should be staring right at Texas right in the face. We should be staring at Texas right in the face. And we're not. We're just sitting there, and they're doing their thing right now. They're not uncatchable, but still, I mean, again, you're seeing Houston get better, Seattle get better, and we're still floundering. 1 win here, 1 win there. Lose a series here, win 1 here. It's pretty tough to watch at times. It really is, because they could be a lot better. Let's play like 1980 something today. Let's throw it through the window. I read that one already. My bad. Dan Rio says, but the taxi squad player is technically AAA, or can they be any? And on the 40-man, I assume. No, they're not exactly 40-man roster eligible unless the Angels were to make a 40-man roster move. Like Chad Wallach, Chris was also a Why do I read those? Stop, Grill Master! You were killing me yesterday, I swear to God. Halos Forever says, yes, the bigger bases, Halos don't steal and should play small ball. Exactly. Track record of the base running errors, Tyler Wade. Yes, you can go back to him several times. Doy says, what do you think about Trout throwing to third instead of at home? He had no chance at the runner at home. The runner was very fast, so it was actually a good play because you think about it, by Trout throwing out or keeping the next runner out of third base where it could be a wild pitch, a grounder that could score a run. You know, at that particular time, down 5-3, if Wentz wiggles out of it, only allowing one run, then the momentum may kick back in the Angels' favor. However, Wentz was like, here's a fastball, go hit it. And freaking Mountcastle said, okay, and that was it. But no, I think it was the right move. At Dan, a taxi squad is basically a catcher and two other guys, usually pitchers, that are not on the roster. They are used in the bullpen, and it is like a practice squad in the NFL. Totally correct right there. Said it better than I could. Texas and Houston winning right now. Grillmaster gives the update. Seattle's getting their ass kicked, though, by Boston, Tommy says. But the long ball is sexy. Vet says Angels don't care about winning. They are really good at small ball, and we actually have a good team this year. So stupid. Absolutely. And if you notice, every time they hit home runs, what are the stats they show when they show those little red icons on Bally's? They show how far the ball went. They show the velo, and I believe the launch angle. So it's like, fine, if you want to tell me how far the ball went, I'm totally cool with that. We've been doing that for years. I'm good with that. Velo I could give 2 fucks about, and I could give even less fucks about the launch angle. I really don't like the launch angle. I mean, if the launch angle was devastating to this team last year, why are we still promoting it? You know, that's the same reason why I yell, scream, and get so angry when I hear Patrick O'Neill call games for us. He's like, all he needs is a home run right here. This guy had this many home runs against this guy. This guy has hit 4 home runs in his career. This guy home run, home run, home run, home run. It's like, no, stupid. We can easily bunt for a hit. We can easily go the other way, hit and run. You can steal a base. Nope, home run. You get a guy on base right away. Well, he shouldn't have got on. He should have hit a home run. Well, this next guy should hit a 2-run homer, and then the Angels would be ahead. Shut up. Shut up. Because I feel that comes from the organization too. A lot of these other teams that win consistently don't really care about home runs. They care about whether you can just score runs. That's how it should be. You know, growing up, it's like the home run came if you accidentally got one down the middle. Or, you know, if you were looking dead red on a 3-1 fastball. You know what I mean? Or, you know, you hit a home run when you're blowing a team out, adding on a little bit more, or when you're up there with 2 out, nobody on, you're just like, screw it, hack it. But so many hitters that have come and gone from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s were just concerned about getting hits that would help win the game, putting guys in motion, getting guys on base, getting guys over. We don't have that. We didn't have that last year at all. This year, we're actually trying to get guys in a scoring position, and I applaud them for that. It's when they get in a scoring position, we're still at the launch angle mode. They haven't flipped that switch yet. Trout's still trying to hit a 3-run homer. He doesn't have to do that. You know, there's a reason why at least I'll give a guy like Rendon credit, because I think what he has, like 20 RBIs or something like that. 13 of them are on sacrifice. I applaud him for that. That's great. I'd much rather have that than a guy like Renfroe trying to hit a home run every time, hitting into leading the team and the league with double plays. Chris Drury striking out left and right instead of driving them in, especially early in games. So, I mean, we need more contact, more productive outs, not stupidity on launch angle. I'm so sick and tired of that. Let's see. Also, Trouter here says Ohtani has a Viagra pill lodged in his neck. That's why he has a stiff neck. See, now that's funny. That's funny. Also, distance, velocity, and what type it is. Sim says Wayne Randazzo was brutal on the call tonight, calling out Tepera for blowing leads and the usage of wants in high leverage positions. Yeah, you know what? I've backed this guy up since we've got him. And I've been Mr. Positive. I've been Magic Johnson when it comes to Wayne Randazzo. I really like how he calls games. But, yeah, he was not good tonight. Whether he was feeling ill, whether the team was making him feel ill, he was not good tonight. He was not pointing out the most, accurate things, and he was saying a lot of things off his butt. So, Yeah, I don't like that whatsoever. Should call out Nevin for his coaching or Trout sucking. He should. Let's see. Grillmaster's claiming the Trout is a 4A guy. You can't be 4A if you've never been 4A. Let's see. Also, Trout here says, do you think Judge was cheating? I saw that yesterday, and if that were the case as far as, a player like Judge's claim of he was looking in the dugout to hear who was chirping, I would, if I've seen that before, then I'd believe him. I've never seen that before. I mean, his eyes look like something out of a freaky movie where you see the doll's eyes move slowly and they locked in on the dugout and then they went back. So to me, it was like someone's giving him the signs or he's trying to steal a sign. Because I'm not sure. I don't know if that was them looking into the Yankee dugout or the Blue Jay dugout. But that just seemed to be totally convenient for him to hit a home run as well. So I applaud the Blue Jays announcers for actually calling him out. Louis says a contact hitter that could be an interesting player for the Angels is Louis Aries. And I'm pretty sure he's in the minors, correct? Or he's leading the league in average. He's here? What team does he play for? I don't think I've heard him before. And I wants to believe that Andrews will... Oh, stop it, Grillmaster. Stop it! Do you think that Judge was cheating? Yes, I do think he was cheating. No. I'm not going to read those. I refuse, Grillmaster. If you want to call in 714-598-3221, because it's one of those nights, man. It's one of those nights where you just feel like they let another one get away, even though they didn't have control in it. But you feel like at some point they could have did some things right to get some hits, to get some runs. And that wants to run home run was a momentum killer, dude. Miami Marlins, Louis says. Well, if he's on the Marlins, that means he's expendable at some point. I mean, even Chisholm, as much of the talent he is, could be expendable. It's a Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd.
What's up, Landon?
Nothing much. Just kind of upset we picked up another loss. I thought today we might be able to pick up a win. Because usually we've been good with, all right, we lose the series, we come back, we pick up a win. But tonight, I don't know what happened.
I think this is a fourth straight series. We won game one, and then we lose the series. So hopefully that trend ends. I'm tired of getting on losing streaks. And losing one tonight, it was like one of those, like I said, it could have gone either way. But it felt pretty bland because the offense left a lot out there to be desired. And the Orioles got whatever they wanted, it seems, when they needed it.
Yeah, and this is a team that was mediocre last year, and we easily beat it. But this year, it's just like a team. Like last year, before we went on the infamous 14-game losing streak, we were This is a game we should have lost. We would win games we should have been losing, but we would power through and win. Like that's because we had the run support, we had the pitching, and we had the hitting there.
Yeah, I mean, and now things look a little bit different, moving forward, because you look at it and you're like, okay, we have a good opportunity to win possibly tomorrow or win the series, but the pitching's been inconsistent. We don't know if it's going to be good pitching, good hitting. It just varies from day to day. It's rare when we actually have a game where both are clicking.
Yeah. And this game, it was an absolute joke for us. From our playing line.
Mm-hmm. Not too good.
But 11 more losses and we go on another 14-game losing streak.
Always positive. All right, Landon.
It's a joke going tonight.
What's that?
Could we get the It's a Joke soundbite tonight?
Yes, send me the link because I tried playing it the other day. It wouldn't play. I've been trying to upload that for you. Do you have the link on it? Send me the link. I'll get it up there. Because for whatever reason, I've been trying to pull it and it's not working.
Yeah, do you want me just to text it to this number?
Yeah.
All right,
bro.
I'll send it right now.
All right, you got it.
What is Roger's thoughts on negativity and what does he want?
His thoughts on negativity? Oh, let's see. Let me pull those up real quick because I have his direct quote. I think we've heard it before, but just in case you guys were wondering. He's going to be sounding like this tomorrow.
Anymore. I just can't. And they can fire me if they want, but I can't sit around and listen to negative phone call after negative phone call. If you're a so-called Angel fan, if you're a Halo Hawk for life like me, then shut up.
Yeah, that's Roger right there, and then we'll play his balls right now.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Exactly, he wants John Stamos, so there you go.
Balls and John Stamos.
All right, my man, you have a good night, Landon.
See you the next one, Sam.
You got it. All right, that's Landon right there, season ticket holder along with his grandpa. Yeah, the Angels, they played pretty bland tonight. Very bland tonight. The pitching for the rest of the series looks like this. I know it's a Halo Hawk line.
All right. Yes, we had so many chances to win, but we decided not to win. Yippee.
Mm-hmm. I mean, missed opportunities, bro.
Yep. So Sosa did not go 5 innings. He went 3.1. But he got 5 strikeouts like I predicted. But he gave up 4 earned runs. I think I said he's going to give up 4 earned runs. But, yeah, he didn't do too well. But Tucker Davidson, he's decent, but he might be injured right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, they're going to have to check out his ankle. I mean, that was a rocket. Unfortunately, if that ball was if it doesn't hit his leg, I'm pretty sure it goes to Neto and we turn 2 right there. That's just our luck, dude. Straight up.
Yeah. I think he might I don't know. I haven't heard anything like any news from him, but maybe he might get be on the IL like the 10th time. Not the 10th time, but our players are just getting on the IL over and over. Like, it's just annoying. Like Quijada, and it's Warren, then Rendon, then who else?
Suarez, Warren,
Davidson.
Yeah, Davidson.
Yeah, Suarez.
Yeah,
Davidson.
We'll see if he does. I mean, like, he's been coming into his own. I know he had that bad outing when we were at the homestand against Texas, I believe. But other than that, I mean, Davidson's pitched really well for us. He's got that inflated ERA because of those runs there and then what happened tonight. But he looked pretty dominant, man. But then that pitch to Frazier that hit him, that just sent him off. And then the other ground ball, and, geez, that was it, dude. I mean, just the whole game changed in that inning.
It's just always those leadoff walks or hits, and I understand leadoff like hits, like you can't control that unless you put it in the middle. But just those leadoff walks are killing us. It happens to Ohtani, Sandoval, Suarez, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, what's really annoying more than the leadoff walks, because I hate that too, is hearing my dad. My dad gets so upset when they get a leadoff walk. He's like, why can't these guys find the freaking middle of the strike zone? I don't understand why we got to throw a strike. We can't throw a strike and walk a guy. And he gets so agitated. And I'm like, Dad, calm down. And he's just like, no, they shouldn't be. I'd be chewing them out if I was a pitching coach. And he's like yelling. And I'm like, dude, relax, man. I mean, there's nothing you could do about it. We can boo and everything, but I mean, you're not right there to yell at him. So, like, I think he gets me more annoyed every time there's a leadoff walk, because then I know what happens. My dad's gonna lose it. He always does.
Yeah, I can tell it's gonna be a bad inning when there's a leadoff walk. I think, and if Tucker Davidson is on the IL, I think someone is gonna be called up from AA to AAA. Probably Joyce, but who knows? I'm not Perry. Perry is confusing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean. There's no direction. I think someone said it the other night. There's just no direction with this team.
Mm-hmm. And Trout, what the hell happened to Trout and Ohtani, especially Ohtani? I know he has a stiff neck, but like 0 for 4 after a 4 for 5 game. Come on, man, you're better than that, Otani.
Yeah, I know, but the one thing I'll say is I think he struck out once tonight only, but at least he was trying to put the ball in play. So I know he flew out a couple times, but there was a couple pitches right there where I thought he kind of just like chose not to swing and they were in his zone. And then there were some that like when they for some reason when they get him 2 strikes, they try to go up and high out over the plate, or they try to go away out and low. And he'll swing at those, and he tries to either poke him in the left field. It's like, bro, like you don't always have to do that. Those are like ball 4, ball 5, ball 6. It's like stay away from him. But he'll try to. And it worked the other night. I mean, he did get a couple hits to left field, but tonight it was not working.
Yeah, yeah. And looking at the games right now, I don't think it's gonna kind of kill our standing. So Astros are killing the Cubs 7-1. Texas is leading the Braves 6-4. Seattle, I think Seattle lost to the Boston Red Sox, which is good. But Houston, like you said multiple times, is heating up again.
Yeah, and that's just it's a scary feeling, man. Because at some point, you know, it's gonna if this season continues the way it is, there's gonna be a point in the season where we all look at each other and we're like, we had him. We had him early. We could have gotten onto a big lead. We could at least put doubt in their mind. But they're going to be about 6 or 7 games ahead of us, no matter where we're at, whether we're second or third. And we're going to be like, damn, dude, we had these guys early in the year. And now they're running away with it. And it's a bad feeling because as an Angels fan, in the last few years, just been looking up at Houston. Every time, like, man, I wish we were Houston. And I really didn't want this to be that year. I mean, I picked Houston to win the division, but I wanted to be right there with them, trying to jab at them, at least let them know that we're not that far behind them. But it might turn into one of those years again.
Houston, yeah, I just feel like we need to win the division because of the AL East, you know, because a lot of the teams, like, if anyone's going on the wild card, it's all of the AL East teams. That's what I'm afraid of. Like, Angels could be second place and we can still not make it to the postseason because all of the AL East teams took the wild card spots, you know?
Yeah.
And if, say, hypothetically, we could be 20, like, how many games do we play at the All-Star break? So, like, 90 games. We could be, like, 45 and 43. But we could be 16 or 17 games behind the first place spot, and we could be 8 games behind the wild card spot. What if you were a Perry? What would you do? Trade Otani or
you'd have to trade Otani. But if that was the case, you'd have to trade Otani. You really would.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we're staying above 500. That's good, but we need to like take the division. That's why I was so angry every time they didn't take the chance. Now the chance is beginning to like disappear.
I look at it this way. For me, my criteria, if I'm Perry, if we're 5 games out and I'm not able to, it doesn't look like I'm going to be adding pieces that are going to dramatically being 5 games out of the wild card. And there's like 3 or 4 teams ahead of us. If I can't get a piece or two that's going to make this thing work, I'll have a backup plan maybe a day before the deadline to where I can open up to several teams and be like, okay, this is what we want for Otani. You can have him, but it's going to cost you. And if you have to throw in the towel, I'm good with that. If the Angels are 5 or more out, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's right on the threshold of you get into a 3 or 4 game losing streak, all of a sudden you're 8 games out. Why do you still have Otani when you know? Because a week later that can all blow up in your face. Maybe it blows up in your face and the Angels start winning. You're like, oh, we should have kept Otani, and then it can also blow up in your face if you keep him. You lose 3 or 4. The other teams win, and then you're 8 games out. There's no way you're catching up with 2 months left. So it's like they're stuck in a tough spot, but. if they were, if that were the case, you know, I'd hate to see because you know me, man. You know me, Supra, and I know you like Ohtani too. I don't want him to go nowhere. I wish he'd be an Angel for life, but I'd much rather try to get what I can for him this late in the game than let him walk for absolutely free.
Yeah, it might not be as much players you would get, say, last year, but you still get something.
Oh yeah, you could have got a big ass haul last year, for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, Artie Moreno. I mean, if I was him, I would at least get something. It's not a smart business move when you're changing of signing Ohtani.
Yeah,
you're like.
If Perry is truly smart, he will try to involve a third team if they're gonna trade. Like I said, I don't want him to go, but if they involve a third team, we could get back a decent haul for him, despite you know.
I think it's not ideal though, but if Artie has to do it, I think he should because I would real quick. It's just not a smart business move to keep him because your chances of keeping him if you don't make it to the playoffs is like 5%, and I don't think Artie is. I don't like Artie, but he's a smart businessman, so I don't think he takes that risk. But who knows? Artie is confusing as well. So.
No, truer words haven't been said in a while. He's a smart businessman, but he's confusing as hell. So I agree with both those statements. You're dead on, bro. All right, Super. Appreciate the call as always, man.
Yep. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's go, Angels.
You got it. Let's go, Halos. All right, that's Super right there. Back to the comments right now. Rendon always on the DL or IL. The copyright right there. I was busting up on that one, Fernando. That was a good one. Charge him the copyright strike. Not a honk. I'm a fan, damn it. What the fuck is a honk? The sound of a car a horn makes. Well, a honk is kind of like this. I don't like the honk thing either. I think it's a dumb thing. It's the Halo honk line.
Oh. Yep, that's pretty much how I feel after this game. How could this happen?
How could this happen? I was going to ask you because I could barely hear that, but go ahead.
Yeah, or maybe try this one. Yeah, that's how I felt after giving up that home run.
Yeah, like it was over, right?
What's that line of? Oh, it's over. It is over. I don't know what show that is.
No, there's plenty of songs when it comes to over, but mostly the relationship stuff. But I mean, it feels that way. I think we're not usually as Angels fans playing that till about August. But right now it's hard because we're literally, like I said last year, you know, if we were to do anything, we'd have to be winning series. And lo and behold, we've lost, 4 or 5 in a row? And
basically, we had Ohio, we had Houston, we had Texas, and whatever was before that.
Milwaukee.
Oh, it was Milwaukee.
Yeah, the last one. Last one we won was St. Louis. So, yeah, it's been a while since this team has won a series. And remember, I mean, look, all you have to do is win the series. You know, most of your series, 80% of your series, and you're a guaranteed playoff team. And
how about splitting in 4 games?
That's fine too.
Like,
I'd take that.
Would you be happy with the split, or would you rather win 4 of 7 on the road trip?
Well, yeah. I mean, a split's great. 4 of 7 would be awesome. Obviously, you want to have more positive than negative, but I think the way it's gone so far, just give me the split. I'll walk away with a split. I'll be fine. You know, give you some momentum.
We think of the positives, just like Roger Lodge.
You gotta be positive, okay? Like Magic Johnson. You think that guy's not positive? He wakes up positive. He pisses positive. He does everything positive.
Ha. Yeah, because after I see the home run, I also think of this. You seriously need to get that sound effect in there.
Well, that sound effect is barely heard on my side, but I know which one it is.
Let's just call it the Perry Mason.
The Perry Mason, yes.
That's the one you hear in Perry Mason. Get that.
The dramatic court scene, yes.
Yes, you need that. You need the you get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. I am still so mad that you don't have that.
I'm working on it, man. Because see, some of these sound bites, they're not as fast as I can get them. So sometimes it takes a little while. So that's why I work. So it's kind of hard to do everything at once. Plus, I have another podcast. So I mean, not only all the stuff here on Halos in the Infield, we're trying to do all the. Because I know everyone's like, hey, get this sound bite. And I'm trying, like, I've written down a list of stuff. I know Landon has me wanting that salt shaker joke and all this other stuff. It's just hard to get everything together when we got all this stuff going on, dude. Like we literally got, like, I haven't even gotten those commercials out that I need to get out because there's tickets. The ticket info needs to go out there because there's only a certain window to buy those tickets for July 1st. Like, you have to buy them by June 25th is the cutoff. Mm-hmm. So,
yes. So, you need this too.
SpongeBob
that one.
Stuff. Yeah, I got it.
That's such a good one. That's such a good one.
All right.
That's such a good one. But yeah, that's how I feel. I still am. Again, why did you not take out Tucker Davidson in the sixth? I mean, seriously, Rengifo failing as predictably as we should have thought it would be. You put in Wants in that situation when it's 4-3. You have a much better chance of trying to score a run in that situation. I mean, you obviously aren't going to touch Yennier Cano or Felix Bautista out of that bullpen for Baltimore, but you could have done something off of Brian Baker or even Cionel Perez if you guys didn't swing it every fucking pitch he threw.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the momentum was gone. Their approach was different, and they just looked like they wanted to go home. After that 2-run homer, it's like they weren't really trying. You saw a different approach at the plate. At least I did.
That's pathetic, and that's Paul. And that's like Paul. We look like Paul Sereno out there. Oh, by the way, 2 more sound effects you need to play after this game. You need to play Homer's that team playing sucked, and you play ball like a girl.
Yeah.
For this type of an outcome, like if this did not occur and we still lost 4-3, you could still play the Homer Simpson. That team's still playing suck.
No, I would say if we would have lost 4-3, I'd have been like, look, we had blown opportunities to take the lead or tie the game, but I'm happy the way that they tried to fight back. You know, they gave it their all. You lost by 1 run. It sucks, but hey, I'd rather do this than get blown out or put up a shit performance. You know, so. It's different. It's just that we haven't seen, again, both sides playing good at the same time.
And also my jokes. I want you to start laughing at them. I mean, what do I have to do to make y'all laugh at my jokes?
You got to turn up the intensity on the jokes, meaning they have to be good, and then we'll laugh. You've been throwing some stinkers up there, bro.
I really try my best.
If this was baseball, your ERA would be like 10 right now.
But there's just some staples I need to have in there.
You need to get rid of those staples because those staples are worn, they're rusted. You need to come back with something better. That's all I'm saying.
My Chad jokes are too good for me to get rid of. I like them too much.
No, you need to ball those up in a nice little wad and then throw them in the toilet and then flush.
Balls and Growmaster making his classic jokes.
Exactly.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls
so Canning
and balls
versus Bradish.
and
I know nothing about Bradish. Canning needs to, he needs to not have high pitch counts. That will help him. And basically, he needs to recreate what Otani and Silseth have done and keep the top of the lineup at bay, which I am actually surprised we have managed to do. Rutschman's been quiet this series. Mullins has only had, I think, 1 hit this series.
Dude,
that's impressive. Santander's been quiet. Quiet as well outside of the home run.
They've shut down the top of the lineup 2 games in a row, but how long is that going to go? And also again, like Fernando brought up a good point. Bradish was in the Angels organization. We drafted him, and then we traded him for Dylan Bundy. So
what?
Yeah, James and Fernando seem to think that he's going to do really good tomorrow because of that.
We traded that dude for Bundy?
Yes, sir.
The only time I ever remember trading for the Orioles was when we traded Jam Jones for Alex Cobb.
No.
We didn't know we gave up Bradish.
Yeah, we gave up Bradish, and then, yeah. So that was a thing. But I'm gonna let you go,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
I'm more
surprised because I know a lot of our pitchers in them. I know a lot of names in the minors, but I did not catch Bryce. Thank you for that.
Yeah, look up his stuff, man. He was a former Angel pick right there. Never made it to.
Let me hop on the Baseball Savant page, and I'll send you over the stuff.
You got it, bro.
All right, check your Fox Todd Heedy account. I'll send you something there.
Okay, you got it, man. Well, have a good night, dude. Because I'm gonna be wrapping up a little early here in a few minutes.
All right, Todd. Later.
Later. All right, there goes the Grill Master. Let's see. Also, even though your dad is agitated, he still follows the Halos. Who's his favorite current Angels player? Trout? It was his favorite player, but he gets really animated now that he can't hit a fastball. He says there's something wrong with him, and like Grill Master says, he blames it on the sex. No lie. He blames it on the sex from his wife. I'm like, well, I mean, it's usually when you get married, the sex stops. But I could see if he was dating a hot girl or something like that, then I'd be like, hey, man, stop partying so much, man. But no, his favorite player right now, I would have to say, is either Shohei or he really likes Sandoval. And he really likes Sandoval a lot. Let's see. Woot woot, the Floppers are losing. Hell yeah, that's great news. I know I have a high chance of losing if Dice, or if we have a high chance if Dice is behind the plate. Well, not really losing, but giving up a lot of runs. As good as he's been hitting right now, he's kind of awful calling balls and strikes, or at least being behind the plate. The good part of Otani is leaving is that we get rid of the 6 starter BS. Justin our option says, I didn't get here for your rant. Sorry about that. Yvette, catch the replay. Because, again, if you ever miss episodes that you're here on the live, you can easily go to live under Halos in the Infield and catch that. Yvette says 84-66. Boy, that sounds sexy, Yvette. I hate the Lakers. Is Grill Master playing the music through 2 cans and a string? Also, Grill Master uses the funnels from the kids' playground to play some music. Also, what sound effects? The sound of silence. Also, bad news beats middle of Carmen, the slow part. Middle of Carmen. Also, most unfunny person on the planet left. No one laughs at my jokes. Lil Wayne. Yvette says 1 more loss and it could have been a win perfectly for this team. Yeah. That has been something that has been played over and over, but it fits this team, man. Because right now, I mean, I don't really say this.
Yeah, Mo, that team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
Yeah, because I mean, like the one part, I mean, you could play this one too.
One more loss, which could have been a win. You call yourselves professionals. I have never, ever seen a worse group of 25 players. You don't think as a team. You don't play as a team. You don't even lose as a team.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like they even lose as a team. Also, Fernando says Grill Master's been less funny than Amy Schumer. Wow. Yeah, that's true. Because once everyone got played out on her private parts jokes of her own, you know, how bad it is, you know, this or how many guys she's had. It's like, okay, it's only funny like the first maybe 1,000 times you said it, and it's pretty old now. So that's another one that if she would go away and not be in the public eye whatsoever, along with Dane Cook that is mentioned here too, I'd live a better life. Let's just say that. I'd be fine with that. Four minor leaguers that were traded for Bundy right there. Also, Grillmaster says, what a bad trade. Chad needs to back up behind the dish tomorrow. Jim says, Trout spawn, not sex. I got to have that boys with that talk with Papa. Yeah, I know. My dad sometimes has some terrible takes. He has some good ones, but that one with Trout just doesn't seem to work because whatever happens – sometimes, I mean, if he strikes out more than once, then he's like, see, I told you, Todd. I told you. The guy can't hit because he's having too much sex. I'm like, Dad, he's married. That ship has sailed. But he's like, nope. Dan says Trout's wife needs to give Mateo says, damn, we played like shit. Yes, we did. They gave us a bunch of this.
Emotional damage.
I'm so good at sleeping, I can do
Hey, Kit! Lay off of those high ones.
I like the high one.
Mule!
Nay!
And see, like, you say I'm a clown, and I dress like a clown, and I go to games. I got jokes at least, you know what I mean? Like, come on, Grill Master. Exactly, Mateo. Those are some painful jokes. And see, just an option. Balls of the beautiful John Stamos.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and John Stamos.
Oh, it's one of those nights, dude. It's like I almost wish it was like 10 o'clock and they were playing on the West so that I can just go to sleep and forget about it. But if I go to sleep now, I'm going to be up like at 3 in the morning, and that's not cool. Yeah, tonight was terrible. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the night. Probably chill with the family and kick back, and I'll have a good time that way. But if I were living by myself right now, I'd be absolutely miserable. And that's not a knock on anybody that is, because I've been there too. You know, it's like I just recently got my family through the mail. Just kidding. But no, like, yeah, I was living alone for a while and it sucked. So I can sympathize. But definitely I would be really having a hard time right now trying to find something to watch. I'd probably be watching a crime mystery or doing one of my crime pod scripts, getting that ready, because we're going to be recording another show. That's another thing. If you guys like crime, true crime, got to check out Grinding True Crime. That's our podcast, and that one's a pretty kick-ass podcast. That one actually does really good internationally. Here in the U.S. too, but definitely Yvette C. DFA Grillmaster. 50 Cent featuring Nickelback. It's almost 10 for me. See, Fernando knows. Just call it a night. This is one of those terrible losses where you just feel guilty for even watching the damn thing. You know, you're like, I could have done so many other things, but the team didn't play hard.
Let's play hard. Let's play smart. Use your head.
And they never do. And they don't piss excellence.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
And let's hope that there's not a reverse on the streaking, because I don't want to go backwards.
Sorry, we're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
Also, Fernando's taking shots at me. Thanks, Todd, for reminding me how much living alone sucks. Jeez. I didn't mean it like that, Fernando. Ah, jeez. Yes, like I said, I've been there, done that. You're actually going through it now. So, I mean, it just happens, man. But I'm just saying, I'm bad analogy, all right? Bad analogy. My bad. I miss my friends. Yeah, Fernando, you'll be back soon. Trust me. You will be back soon. Mateo says, well, that team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I'm alone and cry every time I hear a Grillmaster joke, Little Wayne says. Well, at least you don't have to hear him. I mean, like, he's writing them. So that's one thing. If he gets on here and he does his shtick, then it's...
How dare you!
But, and no one's really laughing, because then we all want to... So, all I can say, Grillmaster, is don't quit your J job, and if you have to continue with the jokes, step up your game, my man. Step up your game. Dad jokes aren't landing, Grillmaster. Fernando says, in 30 minutes, I find out if the Arizona Coyotes get a new stadium, so I can't go to sleep. Well, there you go. Todd, I'm really trying to make a good joke. Also, y'all suck and are deliberately downplaying my jokes. F you. We love you. Also, I'm alone, so I DoorDash and Uber Eats extra money. See, there you go, Dan. I've done that myself. Extra money, less
emotional damage.
And you're able to be productive out there.
Yes.
So with that being said, we have to look forward to real quick the last two pitching matchups for this series with Baltimore. Baltimore will throw Bradish, the former Angel farmhand, and Wells on Thursday. The Angels will counter that with Griffin Canning tomorrow, so that's going to be a wild card type game. And so is Tyler Anderson. But at least for Minnesota, when they come home, we're going to have Detmers, Sandoval, and Ohtani, 3 guys that, well, Detmers' 0-3 record doesn't look that good, but I know he can get onto a better record and get going, pitch a little bit better. Then we got Sandy, and then Ohtani to close out the weekend. So hopefully we can win out right there against Minnesota on the homestand. No one is in the mood for Grillmaster's jokes. You're downplaying my jokes, gives me emotional damage. I'm so wasted like Hammer. No one is in the mood for a Warriors Mateo. Thank you, and I'll be out. All right, well, so that being said, I'll make an announcement if you can. Please like it. I think it'll be tomorrow. I'm trying to get what is it called, a commercial up for those so we can post it on different pages. I've reached out for other pages to get it out there because, again, these tickets are going to go fast, and you're getting a lot with these tickets. So you might be like, well, I don't know, but when you think about what you're going to get with the tickets, if you participate with us all day, my God, what the hell are you guys thinking not going? So there you go. So everybody, have a good rest of your evening, wherever you may be. Lone Star Halo, I love you. We will talk soon because we got to work something out here with the because I got emotional damage because I reached out to our boy, but I think girl problems and job issues have kept him away from his Around the League show. So we need to figure that out, Fernando, because right when we start a new thing and for someone to bail, that kind of sucks. That's costing me emotional damage because I really want that thing to take off. And I think it's a good show the way we present it, no matter who runs it. And instead, it's like I feel like telling them,
How dare you?
Where are you at, man? Because you're causing me
emotional damage.
Because it sucks, dude. Like again, I want to get
wow, winning.
And we're just not right now. And right now, I'm just going to say one thing before I go. Grillmaster, your jokes are like this Comet soundbite. Well, at least the last couple nights.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I'm sorry, but it had to be said. That's why I'm saying step your game up. I know you got it in you, but right now, you don't. So, all right. And besides, there's no...
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Grillmaster, come on now. Calm down. I love you too, man. Shut up. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your evening. Go Angels. Let's get them tomorrow.